Hello, today we're going to do one of my favorite yoga series to stretch your hamstrings and your hips and really gain some awareness in the psoas. Before we begin, let's take a look at our little skeleton and identify your greater trochanter. So you have your femur, and the greater trochanter is the outer hip. If you're lying on your side on a very hard floor, you'll feel this bony protrusion poke out on the ground. And your lesser trochanters, you can see them better from the back of the skeleton, are this little tiny nub sticking out at the upper back of the femur. From the front, you can see the lesser trochanter is here. Greater trochanter. Lesser trochanter is the bottom of your psoas. Greater trochanter is the attachment for a lot of your rotators and some of your glute muscles. All right, let's go lie down. So for today's series, you will need a yoga strap. You can also use a long, thin towel, a tie, or a long belt, and 1 or 2 yoga blocks. You'll lie down on your back, and if your neck feels uncomfortable here or your chin is higher than your forehead, you need to put a pillow or a blanket underneath your head. And either place your feet standing with your knees bent or lengthen your legs long. And we'll go ahead and hug your right knee into your chest and give a pretty tight squeeze as long as there's no pinching in the hip socket. Your right leg is pretty passive here. You want to press the center of your left thigh down into the ground. The center of the left heel is strongly pressing down. So your left leg is very active, the right leg is trying to be passive. Relax your shoulders down towards the floor and also down towards your pelvis, and lengthen the back of your skull away from the top of your neck. Your left lesser trochanter, that tiny nub at the upper inner back of the femur, is rolling down to the ground. Your right greater trochanter, your right outer hip bone, is lengthening away from your waist. So your right waist is getting longer. Take a wide inhale across the back of the rib cage, and exhale, navel falls towards the spine, sternum softens. Inhale, the back ribs widen across the ground, and as you exhale, feel your head release heavy down into the ground, neck and shoulders soft. Grab your strap, and you'll place your strap over your heel, holding one side of the strap in each hand. You want to flex your right ankle so that the back of the right heel sharpens up to the ceiling. You're still pressing the center of your left thigh down and the center of your right heel down. You might need to lower your right leg a little bit closer to the floor. It doesn't need to be vertical, but if you have the flexibility to take your right leg beyond 90, go ahead and bring it just to vertical so that the heel is right over the hip socket, and you're going to drag from the heel using your arms, your hands on the strap. The heel glides down into the glute. Let's do a couple ankle circles here. We'll do like 3 or 4 in each direction. Spreading the toes, lengthening the toes. Make it a very round circle. Notice which parts of your circle you're shaving off. And switch direction. So the heel is also circling here. You want to carve out space with your heel. Shoulders are still relaxed. Head is heavy on the ground. Finish your last circle. Flex the right ankle so the back of the heel is reaching up to the ceiling. Lengthen your right greater trochanter and your right lesser trochanter out of the pelvis in the direction of your left foot. Continuing to press the center of the left heel and the middle of the left thigh down into the ground. Be really strong in both of your legs. You're lifting the tops of the knees up into your pelvis. The heels are active. Shoulders, head, passive. Now you'll grab a hold of your block And you're going to place it on its low setting outside of your right greater trochanter. So I'm going to show you on the left leg so that you can see where the block grows. So I'll just wedge it right outside the hip, and you're going to hold the strap in your right hand and take your right leg wide out to the right. So your right leg will not be resting on the block, but the block does stop the leg from dropping too wide open to the right. It helps to keep the pelvis level. You want to hold the strap as close as you can to your right foot and lengthen your left arm wide out to the left. Reaching out through your right heel, spreading all 10 of your toes. Relaxing the shoulders down the back, down into the ground. And take your breath as wide as your limbs, so your inhale can expand beyond your physical body into the space under your arms, out towards your heels. And with every exhale, let your bones drop more completely into the ground. Let's take one more inhale here. Nice long exhale. Draw your navel in, bring your right leg up to the ceiling, switch hands. Now you're holding the strap in your left hand, and you're gonna roll all the way over to your left side. So the outer left foot, the pinky edge of the foot is on the ground. The inner right foot is on the ground. You may need to prop your foot up on one or two blocks for this one. And then you'll take your right arm across your body and up on the diagonal. So it would be at like, I think that's probably 11 o'clock. And then if it's comfortable on your neck, you're going to look up at your right hand with your eyes. If your right shoulder is not touching the ground, you need a little height under your right foot so that you can ground the shoulders and really twist in your upper spine. Imagine that your left foot is up against a wall and you can press your left heel into the wall. So your left leg here is your standing leg. And notice as you reach out through your left heel how that helps to roll the right greater trochanter away from the rib cage, and your right waist gets a little longer. Let's take like 3 to 4 more breaths here. Feel your right femur plug back into the glute. The thigh bone moves back into the buttock. Breathing really full into your right lung. Keeping the head and shoulders heavy, relaxed. We'll take an inhale and exhale, draw your navel in, right leg up to the ceiling. And then for this last step in this series, you're going to hold the strap in your right hand. We'll do this twice, it's a little bit confusing. So you'll hold the strap in your right hand as close to the foot as you can get. You'll notice that my right arm is on the inside of my right leg. You're going to lift your head and shoulders off of the ground and place your heel in your left elbow. So you'll nod your chin to your chest, drop the sternum down, put the heel in your left elbow. Again, you're holding as close to the foot as possible, and then you bring your right arm behind your head. You want to give only as much slack on your strap as you absolutely need to be in this position. Draw your shoulders down your back, press the center of your left thigh down, and see if you can curve your spine, flex your spine evenly from your tail, up through your sacrum, up through the lumbar spine, the thoracic, the ribcage spine, the cervical neck spine. Shoulders down the back, let your sternum drop. If your left foot is not on the ground, if your left leg is not on the ground, you can put your block under your left heel, but you're trying to press the center of your left thigh down. The left leg is grounded. Your right shin is parallel to the wall that you're facing and parallel to the ground. Inhale, widen your back ribs, and on your exhale, navel to spine. And then you'll hug your knee into your chest and lower all the way down. So take a moment to scan your body, observing the differences between the right and left halves of your body. You might feel longer on one side, more connected. Maybe the abdomen is more hollowed out after that spinal flexion on the right side. And then we're going to take that last step one more time. So if that was very accessible for you, you could, instead of using your straps, yogi toe lock your right big toe. So you'll take your pointer finger, middle finger, thumb, hold on to the right big toe. If not, you're going to grab your strap again and hold the strap. It'll be wrapped around the ball of your foot. You'll hold it as close as you can get to your right foot with your right hand. So you'll hold onto your foot or your strap, take an inhale, exhale, roll the skull, soften the sternum. You're doing a little sit-up, and you place your right foot in your left elbow, flex through the right ankle, and bring your right arm behind your head. Now try to keep both sides of the waist equally long. You might notice you like to shorten one side or the other, and both rib cages evenly weighted, so you're not twisting to the right or to the left. Shin is parallel to the wall that you're facing and the ground. Shoulders are drawing down the back. And observe where in your spine it's easy to flex, maybe the cervical spine or behind the heart, and where is it difficult to flex? Where do you find it more difficult to round the spine? So you can bring a little bit more flexion into those areas. Now get a little longer through the spine. Take an inhale, exhale. Let's take one more breath. Really feel your back ribs spread wide. And then you'll hug your knee into your chest. Lengthen your right leg and rest with either your knees bent, feet standing, or legs long on the ground. Feel your full inhale, fill your lungs. And then from here, you can go ahead and rewind the video and take the whole series on your other side. So you'll start hugging your left leg into your chest. Thanks for joining today. See you soon. Bye.